Hello, welcome. This is Jackrabbit Journal talking South Dakota State University football, and it was a good first half at North Dakota State, Hank. Jackrabbits led the game 10-6 against the Bison on Saturday, but they eventually fall 37-17.
A good first half is right. I thought that the Jackrabbit team as a whole, not just the offense, the entire team responded well to Austin Sumner being in the lineup. Talk a little bit more about that later on in the show. But defense really came out with a lot of aggression, and we're playing some sound football early on. But in the end, just weren't able to get it done.
Against a team that has now won 33 games in a row. But let's pick out some positive. There was one really good drive by the Jackrabbits in the second half. Got them back within 3 points at 20-17. They go 75 yards. Get a Zenner touchdown. What was different on that drive than the rest of the second half?
It's tough to say just exactly what was different. A big thing that was different was you had one of your best players that wasn't on the field. Jake Winnecke had gone down with an injury. Unfortunately, the story of the season for the Jackrabbits so far this year has been injuries. But they were able to just get in a rhythm. Zach found a couple openings, Zach Zenner that is, and was able to make something happen down the field. And they were able to get in the end zone and keep this one a competitive game at that point.
All right, Austin Sumner, as mentioned, did make his return at quarterback for the Jackrabbits. First game back since he was injured in the season opener at Missouri. Now, the coaches decided on Friday before the game that Sumner was ready to go, and Austin says that he really wanted to get back for this game against the Bison.
After I got the x-ray in Missouri, I kind of went through the calendar in my head and realized that that 8 weeks that I possibly be coming back was the Marker game. So that kind of was a light at the end of the tunnel. All last week, every day I got better and better. I got sore, then I got better. It was kind of the battle. But this week, even after the game, I haven't really been sore at all. I feel stronger, so I expect to keep getting better as the week goes on.
Certainly having number 6 back in the lineup is a positive for the Jackrabbits. He's made tremendous progress since that nasty injury down there in Columbia all those weeks ago. But there's a lot of work for this Jackrabbit team yet to do here in these final weeks of the season. It's not over. There's still an outside chance that they'll be able to squeak into the playoffs. It's going to take some stellar football play from the entire team. But I think what we saw last week from number 6 is very encouraging. There was rust there, no doubt about it. But there wasn't as much as a lot of folks would expect. So something to build off of for this offensive unit.
Yeah, his arm is fine, and they've got 3 games to go, as you said. But back to the Bison, we'll go to Coach Stig and the S-Jack in the first half of this ball game at North Dakota State when we come back.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by Billionauto.com.
Welcome back to Jackrabbit Journal. And Hank, were you impressed? Were you surprised at all with the Jackrabbits, the way they played defense, especially in the first half of this game at North Dakota State, or do they have the ability to play this well all the time?
Well, I was impressed with the effort of this Jackrabbit defense. One thing we know, this is a young unit. There's a whole bunch of young football players that are having to contribute at a high level right now. And what's encouraging is that we saw that they're able to do it. Now they just need to do it on a more consistent basis from here on out.
All right, here's Coach Stig. First talking about the return of Austin Sumner for this game, and then the big plays of the first half against NDHC.
We were hoping that he would be ready, able to start. He could hardly move. If you watched the game, he had to take all the snaps from shotgun, and so it was just a process. And I tell you what, when you've only been walking a couple weeks, another week, you have to wait and see how it turns out.
But worth it to get him back in here and get him playing.
When I announced him as a starter in the locker room, I still get shivers thinking about that. The team erupted. It was a great boost to us. I remind our team all the time, those things only last 30 seconds, so you got to go out and play.
All right, it was good first half, though, by your team. And Austin comes out looking good in warm-ups and was a little immobile at times, as you would imagine, but you get Zach Zenner going here right on the second play of the game.
Yeah, Zach had a good game, not a great game. Our fat guys did a decent job. They're good defense. And, Zach had 2, 3, 4 nice runs in the game, different than we've had in the past against them.
Trying to get some quick throws for Austin?
Well, yeah, quick throws that give you a chance against whatever defense any team is playing, and they drop back deep, so we just dumped it to Jake here underneath and blocked for him and let him do the rest.
All right, sack coming up here. Kyle Emanuel is one of the best players in the nation at the end for them.
He's a great player. He got great speed, power. Unfortunately, we should have made an adjustment maybe a little early in the game about chipping him, but he's a good football player. Ethan Sawyer had the game of his life. He had an unbelievable game. Our punter pinned him 3 times inside the 20. This has a huge impact in the football game.
Yeah, played the field position, played great defense in that first half. So ensuing possession here, JT Hassel is going to get the tip and the interception.
Yeah, nice job by JT, just reacting and playing, which you have to have some of that in your body. You got to do the right job, but here he's coming up to defend his run and just instincts, tips the ball and makes the interception. You can see the excitement, the positive impact that has on your football team.
Get it into the red zone, can't get it into the end zone though.
No, and that disappointing when you get the ball on the 15-yard line. You want to finish, you want to get a first down, you want to be able to finish, and those things all have an impact. But again, our special teams, which they have all year long, step up, and Justin Sirvatka makes the 3-pointer.
Sirvatka's 11 of 12 on field goals this year. He hasn't missed an extra point. He's been outstanding. It's 3-0. Jackrabbits in the lead, and then a little short on the kickoff here, and they good return up the sideline.
Here we outcoach ourselves, all right? Lob it so we can tackle them, and we lob it and they return it past the 50. I mean, when we kicked it deep, we did a tremendous job. But again, credit to them. They're a good football team. They're going to get some plays.
All right, but they go for the end zone here, close to it anyway. Nick Mears reaching in, making a play.
Nice job by Nick, and I think he'd have got whacked by Melvin there had he hung onto the ball, maybe knocked it out. But yeah, we played some good defense in the first half.
And force them into a field goal attempt here from about 42 yards. No good, and the Jacks have the lead at the end of the first quarter. It's 3-0. South Dakota State. Get into the second quarter here. Another 3rd down and 5, and Wentz goes to Vodlin for a pretty big play.
This should be a dead play. Again, young guys not communicating. We should have switched that off, and JT Hassel should have tackled him for a 3-yard gain, and joke's over, punt the ball. But you have to play closer to perfection if you're going to win games.
And again, keep them out of the end zone there. 3rd and 6, and an incomplete pass. They go for a field goal again. They're going to get this one, but 3-3 midway through the second quarter here.
Yeah, and we're not giddy about the thing, but we're playing some good defense. We haven't got anything going, a lot going offensively. This hurt us in the football game. Passes when Wentz ran, when their quarterback ran. He ran the ball a couple times for decent yards, but when he got his big yards is when they were passing the ball.
Crockett held here though, Langer, and Landon Schultz in there on a tackle, and it forces them into another field goal attempt here. They're going to make it, but still holding them to field goals. This is a good thing.
Yeah, good defense. Hold them on 3rd and short, and make them kick the field goal. We almost blocked that one. We had good pressure on it. So you keep battling. That's what you need to do.
6'3" Bison, but Zenner, 34 yards. He busts off here, almost goes.
Yeah, I think some people thought maybe we were nuts for going 2-minute drill with 1:25, that much distance, but we're going to play to win. And life's an average. We're going to be above average in these situations, and this is one of them.
And it pays off here. Sumner to Winnicky for a 42-yard touchdown.
That is a pretty sight, and that's happened a lot. He's just such a gifted young man. Austin throws a good deep ball, big play going into halftime. And
some boos raining down on the Bison. You got them in where you want them here at halftime, don't you?
Yeah, I don't hear boos, and I do hear their fans picking on us once in a while. But all I know is we had done some good things and wanted to have an opportunity to win the football game.
All right, 10-6 at the half. North Dakota State takes the lead in the second half. The Jacks keep it close, and we're right back with the second half after this.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by Billionauto.com.
Jackrabbits lead North Dakota State 10-6 at halftime. We jump right into the third quarter here with Coach State. All right, right to the third quarter here, Coach, and they're going to open up with about a 6-minute drive here to get into the end zone, running the football for the most part.
What they chose to do, and it's reflective of the time of possession in the football game, is they chose, when they could, when the down and distance said you can do it, is to run the football. And we've got limited guys, limited health, and they really had success doing it. And that is tough on a football team when you get discouraged when they're running the ball.
All right, a play here that did you guys fit this one the way you wanted
We
to?
did not. No, we have both our DBs end up inside their blockers. You got to usher it inside to the will linebacker and just a malfunction. And again, against a good football team, a 10-yard play goes for 20-some.
You got a lot of respect for this kid at quarterback, though, don't you, Wentz?
I do. We recruited him, and I think he's a good football player. He's a calm football player. Here we just mess up. We got a young guy that just wasn't paying attention, and you've got that guy to the flat. He blocks down, put your hand on him, smell his breath, and cover him, and we didn't do it.
All right, 13-10, Bison in the lead, but Sumner to Jason Schneider here, who did play and did make some plays.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal story that Jason was able to play. Credit to our athletic training staff and Jason working hard. Was supposed to be out for 2 weeks, and we get to use him. So really special to have him on the field.
All right, this is 3rd and 8. You get 7 here on the completion to Winneke, and then a 4th and 1 coming up at North Dakota State's 40.
Yeah, just he got a couple decisions here. One is a gimme. You can see our tight end run across the field wide open. Throw it to him. That was the call. Or try to go for the big one. And I don't play quarterback. We just coach him. And we'd love to have that one back, throw it to the tight end, and see what happens.
All right, I mean, the thought is it's going to take some big plays to win on the North Dakota State's home field. But first play after the change of possession here.
Give him some credit. I mean, that deep of an out, we should contest. That deep of an out, Jimmy Forsythe, and he has in the past, needs to get a hand on that thing, and we did. And here's the physical part, again, of the game. Really fit well there on that one.
TJ Lally's on the bottom of the pile here. He made 20 tackles in this game for the Jackrabbits. 4th and 1, they go for it here. Wentz picks it up.
Yeah, tough to stop that. And TJ Lally, he earned his scholarship on Saturday. He did a phenomenal job.
All right, 3rd and 6 is the next play here. Wentz gets some room, and he gets outside for 22 yards.
This, again, is TJ's the unblocked guy there, and he should just walk up, smell his breath, and tackle him, and they should be kicking a field goal. Again, you got to play. You got to do things right, and we didn't there, and consequently, against a good football team, they get some yards.
And this is a big quarterback. Wentz is 6'6", weighs about 235 pounds, bounces off a Nick here and gets into the end zone.
Yeah, Nick's just got to wrap and roll. He's got to get him in the ankles and keep him down. He's still going to fall forward for a yard at least, but don't go up high on a big guy like that.
So it's 20-10, Bison in the lead late in the 3rd quarter, but this was a really nice answer and a nice drive by the Jack Zenner. Goes for 10 yards here. He had 96 for the game. And then Larvis Jones, another one of your big receivers, 6'4" junior, comes in and makes some catches.
You know, Larvis, Winneke got hurt in the game, so Larvis was called into action and really did a nice job. And again, I love those stories of a guy that's got to prepare every week and doesn't get a shot, gets a shot and makes big plays in a big game.
Turn around in the 4th quarter here. Jones again, 16 more yards there, and then 3rd and 1 coming up, and Zenner's going to get 2 very tough yards.
Well, he gets these yards on his own because we don't hold the line of scrimmage. We lose it. In fact, the first guy that hits him, a guy that should be blocked. But just again, we've been spoiled. I'll use that term by Zach's effort and his ability to get that first down.
A couple plays later, Brady Mangarelli coming in, 16 yards. Gets knocked down at the 1-yard line, and then you bring the big boys into the backfield here and get Zenner into the end zone.
Good job, good drive. Think about it. We're on the road against a pretty good football team. We're a good football team. It is a 3-point game right now. You are in the game. It's the 4th quarter. Win the game now. Do the things you need to do to win the game.
All right, great drive. 20-17. Bison on top with about 12 minutes to go in the football game, and then they go on another 11-play drive here. Wentz on a pass.
Yeah. Got to get a pass rush, Tom. I mean, we got to get a pass rush. I mean, we didn't scare them all day long, and they're good, but we're better than that. We need to get some guys loose and scare them.
And then Wentz again, as you said, made some big plays with his feet.
Don't get pinned inside. Leverage the football, and that's a 2-yard gain, not a 12-yard gain.
100 yards on the ground for Wentz, the NDSU quarterback, and then Crockett will take it in here for a touchdown to put him up by 10.
Yeah, this is 2nd and 6 right now. We've got the guy off the edge that gets caught in no man's land. He's got to play a flat shoulders, tackle that, make him earn the touchdown. And again, it would be now it's a 2-score game now. We got to get up the field and catch the ball with your hands, fundamental stuff. And now it's tough. Now it's going to be tough.
Yeah, a couple of late turnovers here lead to some more North Dakota State late scoring, 37-17 the final, but 2.5 good quarters. Was it 3 good quarters of football? How'd you guys play in this?
We played a lot of good football, but you have to be perfect. And what do I mean by that? do what you're supposed to do, and then if they beat you, then they're better than you. But you have to do what you're supposed to do.
And I know you don't make excuses, but how beat up are you guys physically right now at every position?
Well, our O-line's beat up. Our quarterback came back for the first game in a long, long time. Again, not to take anything away from Zach Lujan, our starting Sam Backer was out. Yeah, we're beat up, but we've got enough guys to play.
All right, the Bison outscored the Jacks 31-7 in the second half. How did NDSU turn things around in the second half of this game?
Well, they stuck to their guns and played NDSU's brand of football. They ran the football effectively. They capitalized on their opponent's mistakes, and they put the ball in the end zone when they got into the red zone, Tommy. And that's really what it all came down to.
They kill you in time of possession. They're so efficient. It's disgusting. But are they as good as they were last year, in your opinion?
They're the number one team in the nation, and they deserve to be. Are they as talented as they were the past 3 years? That's debatable at this point.
They're getting there, it looks like. They play at Northern Iowa coming up this week. The Jacks will be at Indiana State. We'll talk about the Sycamores a little bit later. Up next, though, our rapid fire interview with Shayne Gottlob, he of the big beard and great sense of humor.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by BillionAuto.com.
Welcome back. Shayne Gottlob is a sophomore from Salem, South Dakota, and he is in this week's Rapid Fire interview. 10 random questions about random stuff.
Why are you number 98?
That is a good question. I don't even know that. I came in here, and when I came in, it was 88 when I was on offense, and then when they switched me over, I suppose they were just like, yeah, let's just move them up one more number. So I think that's why they gave me 98. It's a mystery.
What is your favorite Coach John Stiegelmeier catchphrase?
If I had to go with a serious one, it'd definitely be last play, right before the game saying last play, but if he's kind of mad or getting antsy, it'd definitely be holy nutmeg. I don't know how many times I hear that and just people out in the community just yelling holy nutmeg at me.
When you first heard that, what were you thinking?
Well, first I was like, came in, I'm like, we're not even close to Christmas. I don't know what you'd be saying nutmeg for. I mean, that's about the only use I know for nutmegs, putting it on eggnog or whatever. So I don't know, it just must have stuck with him one Christmas. He got all mad at his family or something. It must have just sort of caught on.
What were your first thoughts when you got that interception at Southern Utah?
First, I couldn't believe it. It was in my hand, and I'm like, that was almost too easy. I feel that was just, I don't know. I was a few yards from the end zone, walked in, and I'm like, I think I stole that. That was just it was way too easy. Pretty much, only way it would have been easier is if he would have just gift wrapped it and handed it to me, pretty much.
Now, you used your big paws. You used to be a tight end. Has the transition from tight end been easy or hard?
Right away, it was kind of hard. I never played D-line or D-tackle in high school, but I had a great group of seniors and guys ahead of me that were able to help make the transition easier for me. And so over the past year and definitely putting on some weight helped. I came in, I didn't weigh a whole lot, but putting on weight and kind of learning from the guys ahead of me helped make it an easier transition.
Now, despite putting on weight, who would win a race between all the D linemen?
Oh, man. I'd have to... All the D linemen, DNs too?
Yep.
I'd like to say me if it was a 400 meter dash, I definitely got it. If it's about 100, it'd be close between probably Kevin Clausen would win 100 or 200. But if it was a 400, I think I got him.
All right, what's your favorite food?
Oh boy. Whatever's in the fridge, I suppose, the freezer. About hamburger helper's been my friend the last couple years putting on weight, so just thaw out a pound of hamburger and mix it with whatever I got in the cupboard is pretty much my favorite food.
What's your favorite part of Brookings?
Oh, man. It's an upgrade from Salem. I had pretty much anything. The McDonald's, the fast food, movie theater, it has pretty much everything that Salem doesn't, so it's about an upgrade completely.
Does Stig look better with beard or no beard? Because you got a pretty good beard going. So.
I am looking shaggy. I looked at my fall camp photo and I didn't even recognize myself. So I'm a pro beard kind of guy. So I'm kind of for the beard, especially in winter. It helps. It's kind of like a coat for my face is what I told Coach Brown. So I'm definitely a pro beard guy.
Do you have a pregame ritual?
I do not. I really don't have a pregame ritual. Nothing really that I do every game.
Not a superstitious guy?
Not really superstitious, no.
All right, and then finally, what's been your favorite moment as a Jackrabbit so far?
I think getting my first opportunity to start against Southern Utah. I think after kind of switching positions and not really contributing my first year, last year at D-tackle, I just did my best to work hard in the offseason and continue to master the position. And so getting the opportunity to start my first start was definitely a humbling moment for me. And then I think the UNI win a couple weeks ago was definitely the best team moment so far that I've been able to kind of contribute and be a part of. So those two moments definitely stick out.
All right, the Jackrabbits play at Indiana State this week. How the Sycamores have gone from a team that didn't win a game in the Missouri Valley last year to a conference contender this year. We'll talk about that next.
Jackrabbit Journal on Midco Sports Network is presented by BillionAuto.com.
Welcome back. The Jackrabbits play at Indiana State this Saturday. It's the early game. It's a noon Central Time start. And Indiana State went 0-8 in the conference last year, but they have already beaten Northern Iowa, Southern Illinois, and Missouri State this year. Here is Tom James, the Indiana State radio analyst.
They decided this offseason they were going to tweak their offense to take the best abilities of Mike Parrish, the quarterback, and the players they had on the roster, and had a very deep receiving core. They weren't sure about the running game, so they knew they had to throw the football, and they've spread it out. And this is probably the best, as good a receiving core, as deep a receiving core as I've seen for a long time.
One thing is clear, the Indiana State Sycamores have responded to the coaching change from 2 years ago in a very positive manner. There were flashes over the last few years that this was obviously a talented program. They had a lot of young guys in there that could make plays. They're just now putting it together. The Jackrabbits, they need to be prepared for this Saturday.
Yeah, Jacks won 29-0 last year in Brookings, but this is going to be a little different ballgame. And have we mentioned that the Jacks need to win these last 3 games to get into the playoffs?
Yeah, I don't think we have yet, but it's win or go home, folks.
All right, thanks to Coach Stig. Thanks to Shayne Gottlob. Check us out on YouTube and Twitter. We will see you next week on Jackrabbit Journal.